Start recording. Okay. Sorry. Now, um, okay. So I have selected the topmost object, and I can see the pivot point is at the world origin only, and provided the transform pivot point menu, it should be individual origins. Otherwise, no. Suppose it is at bounding box center or median point or any other 3D cursor. So based on the 3D cursor, it will show its pivot point. Sometimes 3D cursor might have moved somewhere, uh, like this. I would have moved. Now when I put 3D cursor and select the object, sorry, and select the object, it will show the pivot point here only. Even if I do control A, all transforms, still it will continue to show the pivot point on the 3D cursor. So at the time I should know that okay, I have done the all transforms, I have applied all transforms, but still the particular object's pivot point, it is shown at 3D cursor, means I have to go to transform pivot point and then switch it to individual origins and then check. Now if I examine, the pivot point is at originally at world center only. So what we have to do, we have to be in our origin individual origins in the transform pivot point menu. Then we have to select the object, control A, all transforms. So this is the workflow for that. Now I'm just applying again the all transforms. Now I'll press dot in the keyboard, frame selection, go to UV editing. Again press dot in the, we are seeing two panels. One of the left side is UV editor panel, right side is 3D viewport. On the 3D viewport I am pressing, keeping the cursor at 3D viewport, I am pressing frame selection, that is dot. Okay, it's not happening because it's in edit mode, so I'll press A and then press dot here, then it will immediately uh, frame select. Suppose sometimes you will want to zoom into one particular face or one particular edge. So at that time what we have to do is, you may struggle going zooming like this and panning and trying to keep in the view the particular specific portion of that object. Instead, what we have to do, if we are in so distance, we just have to click, press Alt A and deselect everything and select any one vertex. Doesn't matter, it need not be the same vertex what you want to actually work on, but just for the sake of selection, frame selection, you have to select some neighbor vertex or something, or edge or anything. Then press dot in the keyboard, frame selection, it will immediately go there, camera. So we don't have to manually go into there and struggle to zoom in and all. So after this frame selection, uh, deselect and then work on wherever that particular area you can do. So this is a kind of way of micro zooming. Right now I'll go into face mode, press A and select all the faces. This is the process for UV unwrapping. What I did is, from layout, in layout module, I applied all transforms. Then I came to UV editing module, and in edit mode I just did frame selection, kept it in view. Now uh, pressing A in the keyboard and it will select all the faces. Now switch on the sync in the UV editor panel, which is on the left side top corner. I'm switching on the UV editor panel sync. Now I'll press sorry, I'll press U, which will show all the UV unwrapping options. Here we are seeing unwrap, smart UV project, light map, pack, follow active quads, and cube projection, cylinder projection, and sphere projection. All that. So let's try this unwrap. Just simple unwrap. We'll try how the blender is going to do this unwrap without any marking or without any kind of instruction. How it is going to do that unwrap? Let's see. I'm pressing unwrap. Now, even after applying the all transforms, it is showing the same dimension. It is no more squares actually, it has become rectangle and it has bent. But still, when I pressed U and then applied unwrap, it is still showing the previous dimensions. That is, when we went to add mesh cube, at that time, what was its dimensions? It was not rectangle and all sides were equal. That same dimensions, for that dimensions it has unwrapped. It is showing the same thing. So this first option won't work. That is what we have learned. Now let's try this smart UV project. It is showing some some settings. It is default. Let's say OK to that. Okay, this is somewhat, it is matching our dimensions. Okay, this is from the top. In the right side view, from the top I am seeing it is, yes, it is bent. So here, this island, we call these islands. See, when I press L and take my cursor to this particular piece of unwrap and press L, it will get selected. L for island or linked pick. So they are calling it island. This is one island, and I will select. I'll take my cursor to this piece, and I'll press L. This is also one island. So like this, 4 or 5 islands are there. I'll just deselect and so show you the last 2 islands or one island. I'll press L. Yeah, they are two different islands. So let's see which island is this one. Okay, this side square, right? So this below one should be this side, the other side. I have to take my cursor exactly on that face and then press L, and it will okay, the cursor is not so perfect. The sensation is not perfect, so I have selected it manually. Now we can see it is this side face. So one is this side, another is this side. I will switch it to gray mode. So this is okay, but still no. If it is straight, it will be nice actually. If this guy is straight, this piece is straight like this guy, it will be nice. So how to make this guy straight? So that has a nice option we have for that. Is if when I press U, you will see follow active quads. So this active quads means I'll show you what it is. But before that, we have to add two two loop edges or loop cuts on the surfaces where it is bent. So I'll go to top view and I'll press Ctrl R. Regularly, when we add loop cuts, how we should do? Same thing I'm doing. I'm going to top view and I'm pressing Ctrl R, and it has added one by default, and I'm making sure I'm not pressing the left mouse button. That is, our impulse is to always just left mouse button and click or move or something, but we should not do that. So I'm undoing again. Now I'm pressing Ctrl R again, and then one loop cut is being added. Okay, I have not touched my left mouse button or any buttons. I'll just scroll mouse button and rotate. So to add, to multiply to 2. Yeah, done. Now I'll press left mouse button and finish it off. Now I can see on the downwards also it has added. This is what I want. Now what I will do, I can see here the two lines, two loop cuts has been added. Okay, fine. Now what I will do, I'll go to vertex mode, and then I'll go to the middle portion here, wherever it is close to uh, straight lines. It should not be like the slanting lines. The face I'm going to choose should not be slanting lines. I'm choosing a face which is almost uh, equal to or closer to straight lines. Though it is rectangle, doesn't matter, but still it should be straight lines. So this is something closer to straight lines. I am selecting two vertices here using rectangular selection and going to scale, and using this special manipulation handle, I'm just pressing hold the left mouse button, and at the same time, without leaving the left mouse button, I'm typing 0 in the numerical pad. Okay, fine. Now again I will select this side. I'll do the same, 0 in the numerical pad. Okay, control A. Every time we have to deselect, sorry, alt A, not control A. Every time we have to deselect using the alt A, and then select the next two vertices, 0, 0. Okay. Now you see, unlike other rectangles in this island, this piece of face is is having straight lines because we made it straight. Now this I will give the blender as an instruction. Hey blender, this like this straight the entire piece of island should be, like that I am instructing. Now I'll go to face mode and select this face. Now this becomes the active face, and press L in the keyboard. Others becomes the inactive faces. Means what? These inactive faces will follow this active face. It is always like that. In Blender, we have two types of classification in the selection. One is active selection, another is inactive selection. Here active selection is the phase which I selected uh, in the beginning itself. Then others are like I pressed L and they got selected as an island. Now, okay, we are seeing inactive phases and one active phase selected in the middle, which we made it straight, which those whose lines we made straight. Now I will just keep my cursor in W, like the gizmo should not obstruct the view. Now I'll press U in the keyboard and then apply the follow active quads, which sometime back we saw. Follow active quads. Now it is asking for which option, the length mode it is asking. I'm going to say length average, not even or length and all. I'm choosing length average. Okay. Now it has become straight. Now when I apply texture, I don't have to paint or anything. I just have to find a square texture or even rectangular texture or square texture mostly, uh, and just apply it. It will all be set. We don't have to work anything. So this way of UV unwrapping makes the texturing work easy. So this same making application of follow active quads, that is making the piece of island straight. That same thing we are going to apply do for the next piece of island. I'll show you. I'm in rectangular selection, sync is on, and the vertex should be on. Now I'll draw the rectangle and then select the two vertices and scale it down in the y-axis, make it 0. Okay, I'm doing special manipulation. This also I'll make it straight. This also I'll make it straight. Okay, this one too. Yeah, now you can see this particular face has become straight. One thing here, when you are doing by yourself, you should make sure that you are not selecting the corner rectangle. It should be in the middle only. If I, you see what is happening when I select the corner rectangle, the other side of the island will also be shown here. That is, it is showing that these corner vertices are connected with these vertices. Means what? They both are one vertex, vertices actually. They are not two different. But for the UV unwrap in UV editor panel, it is showing as different vertex, but it's not so. They are two different vertices. So we have to add lines. That is why we added lines here. In the bit in between we added two loop cuts, and then we are working on the cell which is inside this boundary, not that is touching the boundary. So I think you understand that. Now I'll go to face mode and select and make it this rectangle as active selection. Now I'll that is hide the gizmo by pressing W in the keyboard and press L in the keyboard to select the entire piece of island. Right now I should make sure that any other island is not selected. Okay, that's very important. Only one island we are at a time. We'll be focusing on one island and working on it. Now I'll press U in the keyboard inside, keeping my cursor inside the UV editor panel. Press follow active quads, length average mode. Okay, now it has become straight. Now this will make our work very easy. It will just, we have to apply some wood texture which is square in shape. That is, it's in its xy dimensions. In Photoshop, if you open, it should be xy should be same, equal. Then that texture, once we apply to this object, it will perfectly fit. So like this one we have to do for others also, like whichever has bent, we have to work like this only. But when I select this one, this piece of wood, we don't have to work this much. See, I'll just show you how easy for these straight woods to unwrap. I have selected this one. As usual, before UV unwrapping, I have to apply the all transforms and go to and pressing alt A and then applying all transforms. Yes, done. Now I'll go to edit mode and press A in the keyboard and making sure the sync button is switched on in the UV editor panel, and pressing U in the keyboard, it will show the types of unwrapping menu, and in that menu I'm choosing smart UV project. So for those woods or pieces of object which has no bend, which has no it has no many loop cuts and all, for that object, that simple object, I'm using smart UV project. So it's not project, it's project. We should pronounce it as project in this context. So smart UV project, I'm pressing U and it is showing up, and choosing the smart UV project. Default settings, okay, I'm saying. That's all. Because there is no bend, it is naturally coming as rectangle or square. We don't have to work anymore on this. So same way we have to just unwrap, that is apply the smart UV project for these straight woods. That is this one, this one. Actually in your scene we have to add this one also. It's a kind of secondary support for the chair. So okay, now you can share.